The first A, because there's two A's in our FAAFO, is ambitious.
Oh, you're going to just drop it on us this time.
Yeah. It allows you. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the DevOps Roundup. Today, we're going to be talking about FAAFO, but not that kind of FAAFO. Was it FAAFO?
That's the one I went to. Hey, Alex.
You got an extra A.
Well, hi, Alex. So we're our hosts, Sean Doyle and Alex Ortiz. I keep thinking that we should probably introduce ourselves each time until we get to like 1,000 subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers.
Yeah, and you're watching this and you're not subscribed, help us get there. We're getting closer and closer by the day. So just, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's really easy to just click, and it means the world to us.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, so today we want to talk about something called FAAFO, which is a byproduct of vibe coding. Mm-hmm. And as you know, we've been kind of vibe coding our way through some things here recently, and I've been reading this book by
how close is it to what I thought FAAFO meant?
Not very close at all.
Okay.
Other than the fact that you have the same letters. So as you know, I'm not the Gene Kim lover, mainly because apparently I've read his worst book in the world.
Yeah, you started out in a bad one. You started reading a reference book as a novel.
Yeah, and so then we had a guest, something Day.
Oh,
our buddy Day. Mr. Day?
Mike Lady?
Lady, yes, Mike Lady. There we go. That was close. There was a D in there.
There was an A and a Y in there, yeah.
All the letters were in there, just in the wrong order. We had our buddy Mike Lady, who has been vibe coding on his channel and told us.
And that's all he does on his channel. He just live vibe codes.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
So I went and got the book. I'm not very far in, but right off the first chapter here is what are the benefits of vibe coding? And maybe that's going to be the episode of today's episode, which is what are the benefits of vibe coding? And I wanted to talk about it because some of the stuff really caught my attention. Mm-hmm. And the benefits stands along the lines of FAAFO, which is vibe coding will lead to you as the vibe coder vibe code E. We're making a lot of words. We're making a lot of words, right? But vibe coding is going to let you write code faster. Okay, that is benefit number one of vibe coding, is that what used to take you hours, weeks, days, months, years to figure out, because let's talk about the traditional software model, right? Which was if you knew the code, like awesome, right? Code
you have to architect it, you have to design it. All sorts of disciplines went into creating software, and very often a single person didn't have all those or weren't deep in every discipline.
Right. But there was a lot of emphasis in code reusability. You wanted to reuse as much of your code base as possible. When I worked at Northrop, we won contracts because of our code reusability. It was the leading edge that gave them a huge advantage that other companies didn't have, because a lot of companies would start from scratch, right? And inventing code versus reusing code is a very big difference.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're inventing code.
Lines of code, yeah.
Yeah. But inventing new code is really, really, really hard. Even if you're the best developer in the world or the worst developer in the world, any company that has to pay the tax on developing brand new code is going to pay a significant tax. Because inventing new code is really, up until 2025, was very, very costly. Right? So that's the first huge benefit of vibe coding, is that we can essentially create code fast.
The F is fast.
Fast.
That was a long journey to get to what F meant.
Well, it was better than your definition of F.
It definitely was.
The first A, because there's two A's in our FAAFO, is ambitious.
Oh, you're going to just drop it on us this time.
Yeah. It allows you to be more ambitious. Vibe coding allows you to be more ambitious, right? You can do the more scarier things, the stuff that's not documented on Stack Overflow just yet.
or retool my entire system, because I think there's a more efficient way of doing it. I might not be that ambitious if I have to dive in and start rewiring everything myself.
Yeah,
But
it brings
AI do it. Yeah.
But it brings seemingly impossible projects within reach, right? Things that you were like, I have no clue how to do this, or maybe you're trying to build something so niche that you're like, well, where do I even find a developer that's a domain expert in that area?
Yeah,
because that ain't cheap either.
yeah, I'm going to design my time machine with vibe coding because I
Yes.
have no idea about time travel other than from science fiction.
We'll talk about that later. I don't know that AI is smart enough right now to invent.
That's probably overly ambitious. That's not
Overly.
another one of the A's.
The third A, or the third letter, which is a second A, is autonomously. Often being able to complete things that were previously required multiple people or teams. Features that once demanded specialists from multiple disciplines can now be handled by a single non-specialist developer with AI assistance. So I think the key word here, as long as you have somebody that knows a thing or two about coding, they can now be a database expert, a front-end expert, a cyber expert, a DevOps expert, without having to be an expert in any of them.
Okay.
Previously, you needed an army to build, to ship software. And to a certain degree, you still need an understanding of them all, but you can claw deeper with the vibe coding.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is probably the more important one for me. It makes programming fun. Yeah, the most important. It makes it fun.
Okay.
Right? Have you been enjoying your time vibe coding?
I have been. I've been enjoying it way more than I should. I find that I'm vibe coding way into the evening, and I haven't had that much fun in tech in years. Yeah.
Since the 80s.
Well, not since the 80s, but when I first started my company in the late 90s, me and my co-founder would often spend to midnight and past midnight building servers and setting up systems with integrations and all sorts of stuff. We ran our own internal email system and our own CRM and all that stuff. And looking back, I had fun. I didn't have fun having my wife call me every half hour saying, "Why are you not home yet?" Or having my partner's wife call every 2 minutes. That's
why I married an engineer too, because we were both in the lab working on stuff.
But yeah, I've been having fun with vibe coding. Part of it was because when I started with vibe coding, I felt like I was cheating on my homework, and that was fun.
Yeah, it takes away the technical chops that you need to be a great developer, and it makes you a good developer.
Yeah, and I think if you have a background in developer, it makes you a great vibe coder.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, there's been multiple benefits, right? It's bringing people out of retirement. So like Sergey Brin, the CEO, co-founder of former. I don't think he was actually ever the CEO. Now that I think about it, the co-founder of Google. Yeah, he was never the CEO. He came out of retirement because somebody told him, like, dude, this is like the age of computer science. Like, it's never been a better time to be a computer scientist. Yeah. So he's out of retirement and he's out there at Google every day committing into their Gemini code base. It also encourages like leaders to take on more programming, attracting non-programmers. So people that have had these ideas, maybe they have an itching for the tech and for coding, but just never had the guts to sit down because it's intense to learn how to code.
Yeah, I think that's going to cause an explosion of these small homegrown apps via vibe coding in these little tiny mom and pop companies that they don't really want to buy Salesforce. Well, their teenage son will vibe code them something that works as a CRM. Things like that, and we'll just see I don't want to use the word littering, but just a ridiculous amount of these apps that only work for that one particular instance.
And I think before we get to the last letter here, it's one of those things where everybody's like, oh my gosh, my job AI is coming for my job. It's going to take over my job. But what you just said, what you just described, is the pivot into the new era of work. Because with all of this littering, like you said, there's going to have to be companies that help manage the litter.
Yeah.
Right. And so new companies that don't exist today because we're creating new problems. We just had an episode with Mike Yarrow about his creation, his company, MCP Manager, is a byproduct of
it is
a bunch of MCP servers popping up. How does an organization get any governance on them?
Yeah. Well, I can see, someone who's retired or possibly gets laid off can use vibe coding as a way to walk around to all the local, businesses, like your oil change businesses, or your local car dealer or something. Say, hey, I can create you a HR planning system or whatever they may need at an eighth of the cost of what you're paying whoever you're paying today.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they only need to service like 5 to 10 customers to make their salary that they were getting at their high-tech job.
Yeah. And even if you can help them with just a time gain, right? Because buy back your money or buy back your time is also a cost to your company, even if it's not like an employee or a product or service, right? But I've been working with my tax guy for the better part of like 5 years, where he wants 2 of his CRM tools to talk to each other. This Apple thing gets you every time, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why I use a PC.
Yeah, until you have to update it, and then it doesn't turn on.
It forced an update. This one forced an update on me today, very similar to the one that happened when we were teaching the class. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so where I was going with, I've been working with my tax guy for the better part of 5 years. He's trying to get this integration to happen. And I opened up my laptop, I logged into Anti-Gravity, I turned the keys to him, and I said, write what you want. I mean, that's it. I didn't want him to think like a vibe coder. I didn't want him to think like an engineer. I wanted him to think in his raw, authentic, here's what I think I want. And I just hit enter. And 5 minutes later, we had a rough draft of what he wanted. We found some gaps. I then intervened, and I've been working with for 5 years, so I kind of knew what he wanted. So I give it a little bit more context to my prompt, and about 15 minutes later, we had a good prototype. So in about 20 to 30 minutes time, we walked out with the prototype that we haven't been able to get to in 5 years. And this is now something I can sell to this mom and pop shop, and or go to other similar.
Yeah, you could go to every tax advisor or planner in your 5 mile radius of your house, and you could probably bring in $1 million.
Right. It opens up new opportunities for a lot of people. I'm less worried about, I mean, you may lose your job, but it opens up a lot of new jobs.
Yeah, you just have to be a little bit more creative on what you want to do for the rest of your career. But I think the gone is the days where you're going to be able to go up to a Fortune 500 company and expect to be able to apply for a software job. It may be 2 or 3 years before that disappears, but
I don't know. So Jensen's got an interesting view on like the role of the software. The need for the software engineer is only going to 100x, not dwindle.
It is, but you're not going to see them being mass employed at a very few number of companies. So we're not going to see 100 companies hiring thousands of software developers. We're going to see hundreds of thousand companies hiring 4 or 5 software developers.
I see. So companies that traditionally wouldn't have bought or hired a software engineer are probably going to need more software engineers.
Yeah, or those companies are going to pop up and then service companies that wouldn't hire any software engineers, because you can sell this tax program or enhancement or whatever it is to all the tax accountants within a 5 mile radius of you and do pretty good. I can come in and make it slightly better and then go sell to those same tax accountants or whoever they are my slightly better program for 10% more than what you sold them for, and then a year down the line you can improve yours and.
Right. So my business is going to be an assessor of sorts, where I assess the software that are being presented to you and tell you which ones are better bang for your buck.
That's not a bad one either. Or creating the new marketplace for vibe coded apps. So you take like the Atlassian marketplace, but just open it way up, and it's kind of like the next generation of open source products. So
I was thinking, yeah, we need a vibe coded version of SourceForge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, SourceForge or just GitHub.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, GitHub to me is not still as simple as like on SourceForge. You used to just upload the executable and you download the executable and you'd have the application.
Yeah.
In GitHub, you got to do a little small prayer to figure out how do I install this thing.
well, that and finding the thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's really no great way to browse GitHub to say, does somebody else already created the thing that I want? And maybe they have, and maybe there's 100 of them on GitHub, but there's no really great, at least I haven't found a great way to.
We're gonna need to make the Amazon of vibe coded apps. Like with the review system, like 5 stars.
Where's the dump truck full of money for that idea? I want to start.
Well, think about the value that Amazon brought to the market by being able to leave a review on a book.
Mm-hmm.
And so now think about the value that you'll leave on being able to leave a review on a vibe coded app. Does it actually work or not?
Can I vibe code leaving reviews on other vibe coded apps?
We should create the marketplace for that.
So that I say that as a joke, but I have a good friend of mine who just loves writing reviews. And so everything he's ever bought from Amazon, he's written a review for. And like 4 or 5 years ago, it might have even been longer, they invited him into this program where they would send him free stuff if he would write a review on it. And so, and he was really taking advantage of that until the state that he lives in decided that is taxable income.
What we need to do is on this segment, we need to start on this show, we need to start a segment where it's like, is it AI slop or AI gold?
Well, yeah, we should start introducing segments.
Where, we review some apps and determine, like, should you buy this? Like, should you invest or not? All right, now let's get to the O, which is...
Oh, yeah, there's still another letter left.
Which is options. Either to find a solution or mitigate a risk, instead of committing to a single approach early on, you can rapidly prototype multiple ways to solve the problem and evaluate their trade-offs. Very similar to what we were just talking about.
So I may be going more into your camp with my opinion on Gene Kim now, because this was a bad acronym. And what is it having us remember? It seems like 5 random words that make an acronym that's close to FAAFO.
Because they make vibe coding fun. The benefits of vibe coding, FAAFO.
Yeah, I'm not liking it.
No?
No.
Hey, you're the one with the Gene Kim Kool-Aid here. I'm
I like a lot of what Gene's done, and reading the Phoenix Project was just like reminiscing on a number of jobs that I've had.
But I think in general, though, just to kind of talk the last few minutes as we rant here, vibe coding comes with a tremendous amount of benefits.
I do too. I don't think it's a novelty that you can just brush off now, and I think it's mainly helping us get beyond the AI's cheating on your homework to AI is the expected way to work. I think that that journey, we're climbing the hill and we're kind of down the other side where vibe coding or using AI in your day-to-day work is not being frowned upon as cheating anymore.
Yeah, and Andre Karpathy, who is the founder of vibe coding, I'm hoping that in our previous episode, I became the founder of
vibe coding. He came up with the name.
He coined the term vibe coding.
So
I'm hoping that I coined the term vibe shipping.
Vibe shipping from our last episode. Yeah.
But yeah, he coined the term vibe coding, but more importantly, he presented that we are entering the world of software 3.0. And so software 1.0, let's see if I can find the list here. Autonomy. This is what happens when you read PhD people's papers. They're too smart. Yeah. We get to vibe coding. The tweet that launched 1,000 startups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly what I think it's going to do. It's going to launch a lot more than that. But
there's a new kind of coding I call vibe coding, where you fully give into the vibes, embrace the exponentials, and forget that the code even exists. And hence the term vibe coding was invented.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, his article is basically we're entering this third wave of software. And I'm trying to, I don't know where he.
Yeah, what's wave 1 and wave 2? Because I would say that we're probably, like in wave 10 of software. But if we were redefining things, AI is definitely a much huger wave than any of the other ones.
I read it about a year ago when he first
I could have swore that everyone said cloud computing was wave 3.
No. There was. It has to be on this first one. Software 2.0 essay. I don't understand this. How I had this. I know I've seen it.
No, I believe you.
Okay, he has an essay on software 2.0. So let's see if we can go into that one.
Okay, We've lost everybody at this point, but yeah.
I know. I'm like, all right, next time we got to be more prepared. All I can tell you is that we're on the third wave. All right, that's
okay.
all you need.
According to this guy, we're on the third wave. All other previous waves were small compared to this one.
Yeah. Well, it's not that they were small. It was.
So I definitely would say personal computing was a wave. Going from punch cards to memory devices was a wave. Obviously, the web was a wave. Cloud computing was a wave. So I'm counting a lot more than 3 waves here.
I think we're going from. You're probably better off with like when we went from what I would call machine learning or machine code, zeros and ones to like C++.
Programming languages, yeah.
I think that would have been like a wave, and then I think the software 2.0 that he's got here.
Mm-hmm.
So software is what we're familiar with. It's C++, Python. Neural networks is 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3.0 is where you just speak
English. Neural networks was 2?
That's what he's calling 2, and then just being able to speak in English is 3.
Okay.
I think that's where we got to.
All right. I'm not sure neural networks. Well, maybe, but...
Well, even in this book, right, it was talking about like a few years ago, we had code complete, and like that was revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I remember the first time that I saw a code complete, like in Visual Studio, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't have to memorize these functions anymore.
And it's guessing what I'm about to type in. And that was what, that was the origins of like Copilot.
Right. Yeah. Completing autocomplete curly braces. You know how many times I forgot a freaking curly brace in my code?
That, or I put a colon instead of semicolon at the end of a line of Perl. And,
Try to find that crap, man. That'll take you a week.
Yeah.
Right. So there was the advent of like autocomplete, and now we're just into like straight up just writes it for you.
So what's your expectations on finishing this book so we can have a more detailed book review instead of just the first acronym on the second page of the...
Hey, well, technically I'm still in the introduction.
Oh, so okay. All right. So hopefully they'll double down on this acronym that doesn't really stand for anything important.
I think, but we definitely titled the episode "The Benefits of Vibe Coding," which is outlined by that acronym. No, I think
positive for vibe coding. Yeah.
I think the book, the intent of the book is to kind of, as I'm reading through it, have episodes on it because it's some very interesting stuff. But one of the pivots that we want to do, we were kind of flirting with this idea, is like we want to start vibe coding our own apps as well.
Oh, we're well beyond that. At least I am.
Well, but streaming it with Mike Lady.
Okay. I don't know if I'm interesting enough for people to watch me vibe code live.
No,
live.
snacks and
We should try it.
Snacks and code with Sean and Alex. We bring our favorite snacks, talk about it, and code.
Yeah. Well, I'm game. I'll try it. I'm sure we'll get one or two people that would join us live.
We need to come up with a virtual version of a game that has been very popular on social media. A couple of people that I know, or a couple of streamers that I watch, or YouTubers, people, influencers, content creators, whatever you want to brand them as. Sure. They take I don't know if you've seen it, but they take like a box that's open to the camera but hidden to the person interacting, and they put a bunch of either food or drinks. In this particular case, it's drinks, and they have to take a sip from each drink and guess the kind of drink that it is.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen things like that.
So I thought
that's something like a late night talk show host would use as a bit.
Yeah, but I think it'd be kind of cool to like build an app that allows people to like. There used to be this really cool app on the iPhone back in like 2011, 2010.
So wait a second, what would the vibe coded app about tasting soda blindly have?
The guessing game. In 2010, 2011, there was a really, really cool app that I was so addictive where you would guess company logos.
Okay, yeah. I remember playing that briefly.
So I think it'd be kind of cool to like guess the snack based on some descriptions or images or sounds or something.
I don't see why that wouldn't be more than a 5-minute vibe coding.
I think it'd be entertaining where we challenge ourselves, like just by the wrapper, what kind of snack is it?
Can we mix it with improv where we start the episode and then the first couple people that join throw a noun, a place, and an activity at us, and we come up with a vibe coded app that does something.
That would be interesting. Yeah. Everybody remember Mad Libs?
Yeah. So that's the problem with Mad Libs is everyone put dirty words on it. Or at least the ones the people that I played Mad Libs with. So we want to have our audience keep it PG.
I was going to say I've always learned historically that the formats that win are the ones that the porn industry buys into.
Yes, yeah.
So
no technology will catch on unless you can you can watch porn on it. Yeah.
So maybe we create the ultimate app for that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why VHS won out over Betamax.
It is. And probably or Blu-ray over HD DVD as well.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, folks. Lots of benefits about.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to end it on porn, but
if it helps you subscribe, make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, maybe does the YouTube algorithm listen to us and then decide what to put?
I think they do, but only in the first 7 seconds. So don't put this as the hook.
Oh, well, this was obviously the hook.
We should probably look at our demographics. We should probably lost half our audience.
I think we lost them in the first minute.
The good thing I lost you when I went looking for Andre's article.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button, please. Never mind us. We're tired. It's been a long day. I've been at it for 12 hours. We're going to go buy some stuff.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Bye, everyone.